Welcome to Murder and Mystery with Mal, the podcast where we dive into the darkest and most chilling true crime stories from Philippine history. In today's episode, we'll talk about one of the most shocking cases of the 1960s, the brutal crime against actress Maggie De La Riva, a rising star whose name and face were known across the country. Her ordeal wasn't just tabloid gossip, it became a symbol of the fight for justice in a society where the rich and powerful often escaped accountability. The Philippines of the 1960s was a time of transition. The movie industry was booming, with glamorous stars adored on screen and hounded off it. Among them was Maggie De La Riva, elegant, talented, and admired. But in 1967, her life was forever changed. One night, Maggie was abducted by a group of wealthy young men, all from prominent families. They took her, restrained her, and subjected her to a horrific gang rape that shocked the entire nation. This wasn't just a crime of violence, it was a crime of arrogance. These men believed that their family names and their privilege would shield them from justice. But they were wrong. Maggie did something almost unheard of at the time. She came forward. She faced the stigma, the public scrutiny, and the immense pressure not to pursue the case. Many women would have been silenced, but Maggie stood up in court, reliving her trauma, pointing at the men who had violated her. The trial was sensational. Newspapers covered every hearing. Society gossiped and debated, and for once, the powerful were not untouchable. The court convicted 4 men for the crime, and in 1972, after years of legal battle, they were sentenced to death. This is where the story takes an even more extraordinary turn, because in the Philippines, death sentences often never reach their conclusion. Powerful families petitioned the government, clemency requests were filed, and in the 1970s, such pleas often landed on the desk of Imelda Marcos. Yes, that Imelda Marcos, the First Lady. The families of the convicted rapists begged for mercy, and they hoped their influence, their money, and their connections could sway Malacanang. But Imelda Marcos refused. She did not grant them a pardon. For once, privilege had its limits, and the execution went ahead. On May 17, 1972, the 4 men were executed by electric chair, broadcasted live on Philippine television. It was one of the rare moments in history where the nation witnessed justice delivered in such a dramatic public way. Maggie De La Riva's story is not just about survival, it's about courage in the face of a society that often punished women for speaking out. Her decision to stand firm gave hope to countless others, and her case became a landmark example that even the wealthy and well-connected could be held accountable. To this day, Maggie's story resonates. It forces us to ask, how many crimes were hidden? How many victims silenced? And how many perpetrators walked free simply because they were born into privilege? But in this case, justice was served. This wasn't just the story of an actress. This was the story of a nation confronting its demons, of power clashing with truth, and of a woman who refused to be silenced. In our next episode, we'll revisit another chilling case from Philippine history, one that shook not just the family, but the entire community, in a tale of betrayal, obsession, and a shocking crime that left the country stunned. So don't miss it. I'm Mal, and this is Murder and Mystery. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and above all, stay safe. Bye.